Okay.
All right, Mariah, listen to my husky voice right now. As I talk, I think I'm developing a cold. But picture this, ready? A dimly lit chamber hidden beneath the sprawling halls of a centuries-old cathedral. Start of a fucking horror movie already, which we already know you don't like horror. The air is thick with the scent of burning wax from a single flickering flame. Sorry.
You're a hoe. Your mother's a hoe.
Around a center ornate wooden table sits a circle of cloaked figures, their faces obscured by elaborate masks. Symbols etched into the stone walls seem to shift in their dancing shadows, and hushed voices begin to speak. The world is ours to shape. This is the image the word Illuminati conjures, that secret society pulling strings of power, controlling governments, influencing wars, and whispering into the ears of the elite. But is there actually truth behind this mysterious entity? Is there? Mariah is questioning me right now as we
No,
speak.
there definitely is.
Or is there
And I
nothing
just know
more?
Beyonce was definitely in that circle.
I know. Or is there nothing more than elaborate myth? And tonight we are going to dive into the enigma of this very topic.
Welcome to Naturally Off Topic, a podcast where we discuss legends, theories, crimes, and more. I'm Mariah.
And I'm Megan, and today we are discussing the Illuminati. All right. Is everybody set? We got our bevies. We've got our notes. Life is good. I
I'm
hope.
laying down.
Mariah's laying down. Hello, everyone. It's been a hot minute. So let's recap for a few seconds. So, last two episodes, we had a part one and a part two of the Kennedy series with our wonderful host, Mariah. Um, and I think that the Kennedys are kind of a great topic that was picked because it really leads into the idea that the Illuminati are kind of behind the assassination of JFK. So, and I have to admit, I was really slacking. Mariah and I were chatting a little bit before we started making this episode. I started with the Freemasons with my research, and then, I moved on to kind of going into the Illuminati. And there's a lot of background information on it. So, for time's sake, there may be a part one, part two, but it may be split up just because we have a lot of topics we need to cover. So, that's something we'll figure out at a later point. But today we're going to dive into the history of the Illuminatis because it's kind of interesting. Because first I'm going to ask Mariah, what do you know about the Illuminatis? Do you know anything? Like, what is it? What are the Illuminatis to you?
So, basically what I gather from it is it's a secret society made up of mostly like famous celebrities, like icons that people look up to, like your Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Kanye. And essentially the saying goes is that these celebrities, in order to get into the Illuminati and become rich and famous and this all-powerful figure in society, they have to do some sort of like I would say ritual, but I don't think that's the right term because it's different every time, like something to humiliate them and kind of start initiate them into
Right.
the group. And their symbol is the triangle, as everybody knows, that can also be found on the dollar bill. Um, and for example, of one of the rituals, the most talked about one is that Taylor Swift getting the award and then being like shouted off the stage by Kanye saying Beyonce should have won the award. And everybody talks about Beyonce being like the leader because, excuse me, during all of the award ceremonies, everybody and their mother always says, and I'd like to thank Beyonce, which I never understand because what the fuck has Beyonce done? Like Jesus. So anyway, that's my grasp of it. Could you
Which
imagine? You're like, that's actually everything that I learned. All right, we're done.
so, and that's like kind of the crazy part. I got into like the history of like the Illuminati's and like how it originated. Like I kind of feel like my notes right now are like a fucking walking history channel. Like cuz there's a lot that goes into it and I don't know, maybe that's just my nerd brain that's like, "Oh, this shit's like interesting. I have to paint the entire picture." Cuz I just was starting to get into the various stages of like this elite secret society. And there's actually, and I'm going to get into this, there's like literally a web page. Like it's literally called, and I have it pulled up. It is called illuminatiofficial.org. And I've had countless conversations leading up to this topic with my boyfriend Scott, where he's like, that is so fake. There is no way the actual
Like,
Illuminati have a legitimate website. And I'm
oh,
like,
the
it just,
website. I mean,
well,
that's valid.
and I'm like, I get it, but like they have everything, like everything that
Be
you
a
could.
secret society at that point.
I know. So like, I don't know if it's more of like, so a lot of my notes came from this and it matched a lot of the notes in which I took from various other sources. So it's not unfactual information, but they are like advertising themselves that you can sign in. So it says, we appreciate your interest in our organization. Use our official website for details on our members, contact information, how to join the Illuminati, our beliefs, messages, archives, and more. And I mean, girl, and this is what I did. I spent like an hour, if not more, on this website, like getting information. Like it's like crazy. Kind of reminded me of when we did the Conjuring and the Warrens episode because
We went on their website.
yeah, and like they just had these archives of information, so it's just really interesting. So anyway,
You know,
so
that's what you need to do.
huh?
If this is a two-parter, do you realize what you need to do? You need to request to be a part of it. You just said they accept new members.
I know, but I think I have to pay into it. And I've thought about that too. So I was thinking that I'm like, what if we kind of take the next step and see? Like, but then I'm all
How
okay.
much?
So,
How much? We're gonna get a Patreon. We're
all
gonna
right.
the Patreon is just to see what happens. No, I'm just kidding.
So to join, I have to start by giving my email address and my first name and then submit. And then I think they reach out to you and they probably set up some type of web chat, whatever.
Oh
I'm
my
not
God.
getting on any
Oh
type
my
of web
God.
chat with somebody.
That'd be so
Hell no.
awesome. Do they have on the website a Hall of Fame and like is Taylor Swift up there?
So their website, so it's interesting. So they have an entire tab about their beliefs, which include the pyramid, which you had mentioned, the eye, the light, various symbols. They have archives, which is our globalist agenda. Oh, okay. Let's open this up. All right, I'm just going to read. All right, so I just clicked on one of their links called Our Globalist Agenda. It's called Part One, Prepping for the Next Stage of the Illuminati's New World Order. And this actually is something I want to touch upon because this is another part of the Illuminati's where there is this belief that there's this New World Order. So, but this is their words, so I'm reading them right now. So, since the earliest beginnings of the Illuminati, before the writing of our eternal oaths or utterances of our vows as humanity's protectors, our organization has advocated for the ultimate goal of globalist Earth. Our vision for the future is a unified planet without national borders, governed by the best and the brightest of human species, in which all people in all places can live in abundance. A globalist society would mean an abundance of divisions between countries and an end to the millennia of wars fought over land and its assets. It is an end to the hoarding and stockpiling of excess resources by one country while another country's people starve. It is the idea that all humans are both individuals and also part of an extended species family, and that no human should be left behind simply because of a random chance where they were born. So basically, they
That doesn't
want,
sound like my Illuminati.
yeah, well, so let's get into it. So maybe this is interesting. So maybe what really the Illuminati is versus what it's believed to be now is a little different. So in Bavaria in 1776, which funny enough, American Revolution, let's go. So in Bavaria in 1776, this is, American Revolution time, and Bavaria, just for reference, is in Germany. Um, Adam Weishaupt, a professor of law at the University of Ignostic, which apologies, guys, for my pronunciation on these things, quietly founded a secret society that sought to challenge the very foundations of this very rigid world at the time. And if you remember back when I was discussing the Freemasons 2 episodes ago before the Kennedys, this was during an enlightened time, right? So a lot of these beliefs kind of started to happen after the Freemasons kind of organized these societies based on similar beliefs. So this Adam guy, we're going to call him because I am not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name, kind of started this secret society with that idea in mind. So this group, Order of the Illuminati, aimed to dismantle religious and state oppression through the spread of knowledge, liberty, and reason. So similar to the Freemasons, they're all about knowledge and spirituality. And so you kind of hit the head on the nail here, Mariah. So I kind of wanted to touch upon like what actually is a secret society. It's kind of an organization that operates under a veil of secrecy, obviously, but often the people that are part of this secret society have unique rituals, oaths, symbols to foster this kind of sense of exclusivity. So I think this is kind of the vision that Adam had when he kind of created this situation. So these societies often serve as a safe haven for ideas and beliefs deemed controversial or dangerous by a wider world. So for the Illuminati, secrecy wasn't just about necessarily the exclusivity of being part of this group, it was also the survival tactic because whatever was happening behind closed doors, which to this day, obviously not all of us know what they talk about, like it's their survival tactic to kind of fucking keep their shit together.
I think the Illuminati is only filled with like the rich and the famous and all that. Like,
Oh,
I think it's like the Freemasons where your average Joe can get in. I think it's like maybe that's how it started, like
oh,
kind of
absolutely. And it
all,
changed.
whatever. But I feel like that the way we see it now is probably the most realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like there whatever mumbo jumbo is on that website, I do not believe it.
She
Nope.
don't believe it. She thinks it's Bolshevik.
Sure do.
So, and so Adam's vision, just like I said about the Freemasons, it was inspired by the Enlightenment, which, as we remember, was a time where people started to question society, arts, political agendas, and such. Um, so he dreamed of a society unshackled by these religious restraints, I guess is the right word, and authoritarian rule. So, funny enough, the Illuminati, Latin for the enlightened ones, that's where that name came from. So, continuing on, this Adam dude, right? It began modestly. He had 5 students where he kind of created this order, and they weren't like ordinary scholars at this, this school that he had taught at. They were like really like, I don't want to say brainwashed, but they were called seekers of truth. united by a common desire to dismantle this oppressive system. So they built this network, this covert network of informants, advocates gathering intelligence on religious and state leaders while spreading Adam's teachings. So, and as it started out with these five members, this school of wisdom swelled to a membership of 60 plus people in the first year of even started. It ended up reaching several hundred, including a German princess, and very high up intellectuals that at this time were lost to history and I'm sure very secretive, so we don't know their names. Um, they had Baron Adolf von Nye. He's a Freemason and a skilled recruiter. So again, ties back to the Freemasons. But I totally agree with you, Mariah, where you're like, it's about celebrities now, and this change because there's this change around what it started as and like the vision of it and like what it's now become. So by 1784, so it started in 1776, it had 2,000 members. So at this
Holy
point,
shit.
yeah. And as you probably know, we've seen a lot. We know what happens with cults, you know. Don't drink that goddamn Kool-Aid. When things get a little too big, it starts to, you know, get out in the world. So, that's where people started kind of learning more about the Illuminati as the membership grew. So,
The Illuminati, let me get it straight, was an actual, like, it is actually in history. It's not we think it was a thing back in this day and founded in this day, yada, yada.
no,
A
like
guy
literally
named
there
Adam
were
literally, factually created the Illuminati. It's a real thing set in stone, not just like conspiracy.
correct. Like I read several, and I will, as always, we always post our show notes and sources. Like so many sources. This Adam guy, like I said, I don't know how to pronounce his. Sorry, I'm not even speaking into my microphone. Um, this Adam guy, I'm not going to speak to his last name, but he literally created this. He literally was like, I have these beliefs. I'm going to create a society. I'm going to base it off this Freemason idea around having a group of like, intellectual men. Remember, women weren't allowed at the time.
Yeah.
Um, Gay, I know. And
Is not an offensive term because
what we for each other. We already are.
no, you were like gay. Like,
Oh, I thought that's what you said, so I repeated it.
no, no.
I was like gay. My bad. Sorry, guys.
I think I said goddamn or something like that.
Oh, I was like literally, I was like gay.
You were just thinking about me, that's all.
I'm literally always thinking about you. Guys, just for context, I haven't seen Mariah in a hot minute.
Probably a
Between
month
Yeah, between me with work and Mariah went on an amazing trip to Mexico. We've both been
until
sick
the runs.
until the end of it, which maybe we'll do when we see each other next. Maybe we'll do a little quick half hour silly goosey episode,
That'd be
uh,
fun.
just to catch up on like life and what things are like. Because we've been getting a lot more listeners, and Mariah and I are really excited about it. We had 50 downloads in the last month, which in retrospect doesn't, I mean, it's not a lot, but to us, that's a lot.
That is plenty for me. Like, because last time my husband asked how many, I said 9 and he laughed at me.
So he's going to get home later and you're going to be like, dude, we just checked our analytics. We have 50 listeners.
Listen, that's a lot of people in a room.
And I can confidently say it's not been me because Mariah and I both share the stigma of like, I don't like once it's edited, like I'll listen to it and I'll make sure it's perfect and then I'll post it. But the second it's posted, I don't want to listen to that shit no more.
I don't listen.
Like
No.
respectfully, like I
Respectfully,
can't.
no.
And like maybe it'd be good if I listened to the episodes that like I'm not in charge of, like because like our structure is you do one episode, I do one. I would totally listen to one it's like your episode, but I could never listen to my own.
Yeah, like not to bring this up randomly here, but I actually did change the intro music like a couple episodes ago.
That's okay because I lost it. Could you resend me the file?
What, what have you been putting?
I think I found another like similar like mystery changed
Oh
one.
my God. And we had no idea that the other person
So,
wasn't using it.
okay, so Mariah's gonna send me the new intro music, guys. So sorry. So that's
You cut
hilarious.
out. What'd you say?
I said Mariah's gonna send me the new intro music, guys. So sorry.
Glad we're finally on the same page.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
about that, Megan.
oh no, no. I think it's my fault too, because I think I lost it. I for some
And
reason
didn't say anything.
and also, yeah, so a little bit on both of us. You changed it without telling me, and I lost it without telling you.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be like that. Mm.
Anywho,
Anywho, moving on. So the Illuminatis, they grew, and similarly to the Freemasons, they had structures. They had the novices, the Minerals, and the lesser Illuminatis, which are initiates learning the principles of the order. So those are various different names: lessers, Minerals, novices. You have the Freemason grades, which are partnerships with Freemason lodges to wield greater influence, and then you have the mystery class reserved for the inner circle, priests, the magi, and kings, or in more modern terminology, Beyonce. Beyonce, I should say, not
remember she
Beyonce.
literally said in that one song, "Y'all haters corny with that Illuminati mess."
Which, do you know what song it was?
I might get your song later on. Cause I slay. What is that song? I see it, I want it. Mhm. Oh man. You don't know the song?
I think I do. I just don't know the name of it. I know what song you're doing.
Sorry. I don't remember off the top of my head because I don't think it says it in the chorus.
Ugh. Well, no worries. But anyway, so moving on though, I'm not even going to get into the symbols because we did go over the Freemason symbols back when I did the Freemason episode. Uh, a lot of the symbols are very similar, and what I'll say to the symbolism is, part of the secret society. They had secret handshakes, secret um, symbols, secret motions that they did in order to communicate with each other. So that's kind of a little bit of background on that. So, but as these numbers grew by 1785, the authorities in Bavaria, with the support of the Catholic Church, and if you remember, Adam started this movement, the Illuminati, to like kind of stand up to the religious oppression that's happening. So, the Catholic, with the help of the Catholic Church, the Illuminati, or just the Order of the Illuminati, was banned. So the leaders were arrested and sent into exile. One of them had
What?
recently, what?
They killed him? They killed
No,
him?
no, they were either arrested or sent
Oh
into
wait,
exile.
exile isn't killed. Right. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was
like
thinking
they were
execution.
sent
Like
to
they were sent
solitude.
away.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
I always think of the Lion King when someone's exiled. I'm like, oh damn, he was not one of us.
yep, I know. And that's really funny. We love the Lion King. And actually, so one of the members who was actually part of the Illuminati, he was recently expelled. We're gonna call him Xavier. He handed
Recently.
no, this was back in 1785. This is documented history. He actually is handed the police a falsified document that claimed that he proved that the Illuminati's like were defenders of atheism and equality between men and women and the right to suicide, all this stuff. And
I
like that
think the
was
fuck not if women weren't allowed. Just saying.
so, but literally, like he no, but like he falsified these documents,
Oh.
and so but that raised enough suspicion. Like the police were like, women are and men are equal. We have to investigate this. This is not
They're
okay.
like, the police were like, I think the fuck not.
No, literally, they're like, atheists, women being equal? Fuck no, hell no. We
Atheism?
don't,
Maybe. Women? Fuck that shit.
hell no. So they were disbanded, and that's where they really became like the secret society. So now
So what year
that's
were they officially disbanded, you said?
1784.
1784. It wasn't a long running,
No,
officially long running.
1776 to 1784. No, it was not. So
So
that's
then they
where,
were all secret because obviously how can you
yep.
officially disband something, like people can still, it's like, I feel like this is not a good comparison, but prohibition, like, okay, you can't have
Yep.
alcohol anymore. We're like, huh, no,
Well,
we all can do what we want. We'll
yeah,
just
I
be
mean,
secretive.
no, absolutely. It's like you when you take every anything, drugs, when you take, um, people do it in secret because it's illegal and you can't do it. So I guess that's another reason. So maybe that wasn't a good example. But
Well,
but
you did
people
good,
always,
sweetie.
but they find a way, like it's like the idea, like, why don't we make guns illegal? Well, people are still gonna find a way to get guns,
They sure will.
you
Sure as shit.
know? Yeah. So that leads us to the question at this point. And this is where it's going to kind of lead into the next episode where I really, really want to do a deep dive into some of these actual episodes. But I thought it was important for people to like know that it wasn't just like this idea that just appeared. Like there was a person that literally started this whole thing, which I feel like a lot of people don't really think about. And if we really
No.
think, and also like I thought it was crazy. It was 1776 when this idea came about, the Illuminati, the formation of the Illuminati. This was also during the American Revolution. We know factually in history as a country, we are young compared to past empires and dynasties that have been across, the globe. So it's kind of like this wasn't too long ago either, like the formation of it.
I mean, 1700s is kind of old.
No, it is, but like I'm just saying, like it's
But
not
I'm
like
like too stupid to
BC.
know like
But it's
what
not like
is
BC
young and
times.
old.
It's not like
You know?
1400s. It's not like 500 BC or some or AD,
Like
you know what
the
I mean?
dumbest thought came in my head when you said it. Like when you said the 1700s, I was like, is that BC or I'm like, God, I'm too
Technically it's
stupid for
AD,
this.
but it's
What
okay.
does AD even stand for? After
So it's tech. I don't know what the actual thing. It's actually so BC is supposed to mean before
before
Christ, and
Christ.
then AD. A lot of people think it actually is after death, but it doesn't stand for that. But I
Hmm.
can't remember what the name of it is.
Oh
But it's not
God.
after death. It's like something Latin of some kind.
Oh, okay. All right.
But isn't
Well,
that crazy
yeah.
how like woven religion is in our history? Like BC
Everything.
is before Christ. So if you're somebody who's, let's just say, atheist, when you're referring to history, you would still call 500 BC before Christ, but you don't believe in Christ.
I think if I was atheist, I would call it BD for before dinosaurs.
Oh, I was gonna say, is there like a not, well,
Actually,
okay, maybe
wait,
not
if
before
okay, we're getting
dinosaurs.
on a whole different topic, which I think is fitting for the name. But okay,
Naturally.
let me throw this out there. If you are Christian or Catholic, because I'm not heavily into one or the other, but
Yep.
I believe in something. I'm not atheist. I don't know what I am. Anyway, if you are Christian, like believe in the Bible to a T dash Catholic, do you believe in dinosaurs? And if so, was Jesus after the dinosaurs?
Yes. I think,
He was
okay,
after the
so,
dinosaurs. So you can believe in both.
right. So I'm gonna just give you my, and this is personal opinion,
Well, wait, because they said Adam and Eve randomly were populated on the earth,
right?
yada yada. But we know if you believe in dinosaurs, you believe in the cavemen, right? Because
Well, I think that's all factual history. We literally have dinosaur bones and we literally have um cavemen bones and we know I think the like earliest human Homo sapien documentation Lucy was discovered. I think so I think that's where like the freedom of religion plays a role and why there's so many branches of Christianity. So like for example, Catholics, like I myself am Catholic. I do not practice very often, but we don't always view the Bible as those stories literally. Like I think like
oh, okay.
scientifically, there's no way Adam and Eve
I
could
was gonna say that
populate
doesn't
the
like
earth
work.
because that would be incest. So I think evolution and science absolutely occurred, but the stories of the Bible are more meant to be symbols of how God kind of like existed and loved and I and Catholics we do believe Jesus really was a person and we believe that he was hung on the cross and he was, risen 3 days later. Like that is still something we believe in. But like, certain stories aren't always meant to take literally, but there are certain branches of Catholicism and Christianity that take the Bible literally. That word for word, it
Yeah,
happened. That I don't want to say it's Baptist, but there's certain it's one of like the is like the Methodist, I don't know, one of them like one of the branches. I don't know which one, so don't quote me on
Scientology.
it.
I'm kidding.
Or what is it? Uh Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't,
Jehovah's Witness.
yeah, like they don't believe in I think it's like medicine or getting surgery.
I also don't think they believe in an afterlife because my great grandmother was, and I think she said there was no afterlife.
Oh, so I don't know. It's crazy. They're just so work. So anyway, I'll let you finish your thought, but then I'm gonna quickly finish up the
Yeah, yeah,
Illuminati
yeah.
episode.
So my thought was, and this was going to bring us back into Illuminati since I knew we got off track, courtesy of
Naturally,
me, of course,
but
as always.
naturally.
So to tie back in, I do have to point out, okay, who was the first male born according to the Bible?
Who was the first male born?
Name, yeah. First
Wasn't
name.
it?
First name.
Abraham is the father of our religion, so
Am I
Ezekiel?
stupid? I thought it was Adam. Am I stupid? Adam and Eve. Weren't they the first people on the earth?
Oh, on the earth. I thought you meant the birth of our religion. They
No,
were.
no, no, no. No, I'm dumbing it down, okay? So Adam, right? Who birthed the Illuminati? Adam. Adam. Adam did. So,
How? Oh, like
did
okay.
Adam like do you think that was a prophecy? Because the Illuminati is its own world. I'm just saying.
It
I'm
could
just
be.
saying. All right. Anyway,
I think human nature also plays a lot of role in it. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm well,
kumbaya
okay.
moment.
But then we could also argue if we were to say, for fuck's sake, Adam birthed the Illuminati. He also birthed Hitler, Osama bin Laden, and all of the terrorists who've done terrible things in our world.
No, you're not following.
Oh, maybe I'm not. Maybe you need to.
No. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
like how we say Adam created the world. There was also an Adam that created the Illuminati, which was is another world, a world within this world.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
totally
Now
different.
I'm with you. I'm thought you
Yeah.
were talking about Adam, like Adam and Eve, like he birthed the world. I'm like,
No,
what?
I was saying the coincidence. Oh man, now this topic's so lost on me. But I was saying what a coincidence they're both named Adam.
That is kind of all right.
And
I
then you
see.
brought up Hitler, and then I'm like, okay, Kanye, chill out.
I'm
That's a
massaging a
whole nother can of worms.
lasagna.
You know all about that?
Oh, the Grammy thing and the she showed up naked.
Yeah, no. Do you know what he's been doing? He literally like is saying on like Twitter and stuff how much he loves Hitler.
Oh, yes, I know that he's been very anti-Semitic.
Did you also see that on the Super Bowl? They had a commercial, I guess, leading people to Kanye's website. And if you go to the website, it was a link to buy his one shirt on there, and it was a fucking swastika.
Oh.
I'm not kidding. Tori, who gave us the Kennedy
Does
topic.
he still have it up? Like if I go search the internet right now?
Uh, I don't know if it's still up. Like, I guess it's because I was like, is this legal? But I guess it technically is because free speech. But yet I'm thinking, isn't that hate speech? But I guess it's not illegal to be hateful, which is crazy to me. But okay. So I will look into that and see if I can forward it to you if it's still up. But you can keep talking and I'll look for that real quick.
Okay. So, so after their fall, a lot of historians kind of like largely dismiss the claims from, the fact that the Illuminatis have been involved in the French Revolution, Beyonce's Super Bowl halftime show. They've kind of just become this like global influence. Um, that have been kind of just getting people just so vastly involved in it. So I wanted to touch briefly on before we end this segment about the New World Order and just kind of a little bit about the modern popular image of the Illuminati. And then the next episode, we're going to cover actual conspiracies because I think those are just one in
So
themselves.
I
So in
will
the
say real quick, the website's no longer up. Thank God. But also, like, yeah, no, I should have screenshotted it for you, but
I just
no, it
like
was
it's like when Drake's dick pic came out. Like I just want to like be in the know. I don't want anything to do with it, but I want to
it,
see it to be like, what
I
the
was gonna
fuck?
say it was so horrible. I cannot believe that this was even like okay, but yeah. Oh God.
So
Oh God. Yes. Anyway.
so starting in the 1960s, counterculture gave the rise to modern perception of the Illuminati, fueled by the works of this book called the Principia Discordia and the Illuminatus trilogy. These texts blended the humor, anarchy, conspiracy, and kind of giving this whole idea around. So kind of like with the Krampus thing. If you remember the little like greeting cards that somebody in the US acquired in Chicago, and then it just like blew up. It just became like this thing. So this trilogy of literature came out in the 1960s, and pop culture just fucking embraced it. And then so now we have Beyonce, Jay-Z, Rihanna being cited as members kind of due to their symbolic imagery and their performances. And also similar to Krampus, it's become this marketing ploy and this just kind of marketing tool for people, which hence why that website probably fucking exists. So brief example. So after, unfortunately, the horrible situation of 9/11, there is this belief that the Illuminati plot to spill out of the usual paranoid channels. Well, sorry. I don't want to like I'm reading my notes, but I don't think they're making a lot of sense. But basically there was this idea that they were part of it, and fundamentalist Christians and Estro-Cali inclined non-believers kind of like really played into this conspiracy. So again, it kind of went back to this whole religious idea. So it was rooted in religion when it came to the conspiracy around 9/11, and I'll try to make sure that when I do my part two, I kind of dive into that a little bit more. But briefly, I also just want to talk about the New World Order. So if you remember at the beginning of the episode, I kind of was doing a reading where I was literally reading about this, what the new, like, what the New World Order is, which is, it would involve a single government made up of Illuminati members that would rule over the entire planet. According to a survey done about the Illuminati, 23% of Americans actually believe in the Illuminati and the New World Order. This was a study done back in 2016 when the survey went out. There also seems to be a link with conservative beliefs, as many conservatives are unhappy with the amount of involvement of government in private affairs. There are many different theories as to who runs the Illuminati, but the general consensus is that, and Mariah again hit the head on the nail, celebrities and government officials are most likely to make up part of it. So,
Hmm.
you know,
We been new, girl.
so really what it comes down to, I think, human psychology is there's the power of the good story, and there's the power of the human fascination with secrets, right? I mean, it's basic knowledge. Everyone wants what they can't have. So I think in terms of popular culture now, people are very fascinated with this idea around the Illuminatis, hence why there's this huge thing about it. But I have to admit, there are a lot of these episodes Mariah and I have been doing. I never really thought much into the Illuminati, but since kind of, and maybe it's because I talk too much about it, but I've been telling people my next episode's going to be about the Illuminatis, and I keep seeing the symbols everywhere. And it's probably coincidence around the fact that I've done the
Everywhere.
research, and I
No, I
and
think
they,
it's
and they are everywhere. But like
It's
I've
everywhere,
seen
but I think it's this thing where you ever hear that saying where if you are made note of, or there's something that goes around you in everyday life and you don't notice it because it's so common, but when someone points it out, then you start to realize it. Like if I were to go every day and see all the cars and then I were to buy the most basic car ever, like a Toyota Corolla, which I have, then I notice it everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It's like, yeah, absolutely. But here's where it gets weird is like, and I told you this when I started doing the Freemason research prior to even the Illuminati episode. I was at various like outings and people did the symbol around me. I have a picture of somebody at an event that I was at and they literally did the symbol in the photo.
Yeah.
And I had other people tell me that people they knew that whether it be their kids who made the symbol like and I'm sure it's like very
LOL. I'm sorry.
like I'm sure it's very innocent like they don't know what it means, but like
Their
why
kids
is
are a part
this
of the Illuminati.
but it's like why is this happening all of a sudden as I'm doing
Krampus
the
can't
research?
get me this year. I'm with the Illuminati.
I fucking guess so. Like, goddamn, goddamn. So, yeah. So anyway, so that's
Oh,
where I stand with the Illuminati. Like I said, so next episode, I really want to touch on the celebrity part of it, the French Revolution, um, 9/11, and obviously the Kennedys. I think they're going to be like three or four big conspiracies I'm going to hopefully be able to touch on. But yeah, we really hope you enjoyed this episode. What do you think, Mariah?
I think we kept it short and sweet because, this is going out tomorrow and we were a little behind the ball. And I think
Courtesy
that
of
it's
me.
perfect. It's perfect because the conspiracies that you're going to be covering, like why even get started on one where it wouldn't be cohesive in this episode.
I
Like I think
know.
pacing it out is a good idea. And
Well,
there's
that was
so
just
much to
14
cover with
pages
that.
alone of notes.
That was what?
That was 14 pages alone of notes, just the history.
Jesus.
That's why
I
I'm
didn't
like,
realize there was so much history. I thought it was all like a giant conspiracy. So
no.
that's news to me.
Oh, well, I'm glad that I
And
was able to.
it really sounds like the Freemasons to me. Like maybe I'm just not being observant enough when you're telling me this, but a
No, it
lot of
is.
it sounds
And
very
that's,
similar.
but
And
that's, and
so it's
that's,
kind of like, is this deja vu?
but that's part of it. And that's the key is like all of their teachings are branched off the Freemasons. But I think what makes the Illuminati different from the Freemasons is, unlike the Freemasons, I wouldn't say that there are Freemason groups anymore of any kind. Like, if anything, it was just more of a foundational idea. And now the Illuminati are like these just,
Well, that's the thing. There is still Freemason people. Like I know
I don't
people
know.
who are Freemason. So it's like,
Yeah.
but the difference is like Illuminati is the powerful one and the all
Right.
control, and like Freemason's just like your neighbor could be one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's a better way to look at it. So, yeah, and I
Like
wasn't
Illuminati is the
expecting.
one that scares me because that's the one that's like the secret government cover-ups and all of that. And it ties into literally every single conspiracy or thing that people look at. Like it ties into all of it. It's
Hmm.
really like every episode from now on we talk about, I wouldn't be shocked if there was some like thing to do with the Illuminati there.
Oh, absolutely. I would also not be
Tied into
surprised.
everything.
I mean, literally, it's on our dollar bill, one of the symbols.
It sure is.
Hmm.
Oh. All right, everybody. You know how it be. Keep it real, keep it freaky, keep
Keep it
it naturally.
naturally. Love you all so much.
Love you. See you next week. Bye bye.